Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we'll be doing a match preview of Arsenal's upcoming game against Crystal Palace. Now, of course we did play Ipswich. Of course we did beat Ipswich. I think 4 goals to 0. I couldn't make a match review out of it, but it doesn't matter. There's another game coming up, and we're going to be previewing that Crystal Palace at home Wednesday. An inconvenient game to say, just between leading up to the PSG game, but of course we need to get the job done, and that is to win. We just have to keep winning. Of course, right now, let's be honest, man, the Premier League title is done. It's been done since January, okay? Since December it was done, but it's now fully done. I think if Arsenal were to draw on if Arsenal don't win, Liverpool win the Premier League title Wednesday, and if Arsenal were to win, regardless if Liverpool win the next game, Liverpool still win the Premier League title. So for Arsenal, there's really nothing left, okay? There's literally nothing left. But now it's just a matter of time till Liverpool win the game. And for Arsenal, it's just about getting the players ready for the PSG game, making sure the players are sharp and everything. Yeah, but look, we play Crystal Palace at home. The only notable thing is, of course, Eddie Nketiah, who of course left Arsenal last season, comes back to the Emirates for I think actually no, it's the second time he scored against us. I just remembered in the calling the Carabao Cup, whatever you want to call it, he did score against us. But of course, he will be returning back to the Emirates Stadium. And like I said, the only simple thing is Arsenal need to win. Arsenal really need to win. And for me, I think after I watched the game against Ipswich, I think there is one key thing that I took away, which is the 3 midfielders now. For me, I think Arteta needs to go with the same midfield that he will be playing against PSG, and that is a midfield without Thomas Partey. Of course, Thomas Partey will not be playing against PSG. A stupid action by Thomas Partey, especially when you already know you're on a yellow. You know you're going to get, if you get on a yellow card, you're going to be suspended. That's a stupid thing. So stupid, Thomas Partey, especially when there was no need for that. You are not involved in the challenge. Why are you getting involved? Idiot. So, it looks like the midfield 3 that potentially will be playing against PSG is Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, and Mikel Merino. And for me, I'm actually a fan of this midfield. I think we all thought once Mikel Merino signed for us, so this was going to be the number 1 midfield 3. This was going to be our starting midfield with Mikel Merino on the left-hand side. But of course, with Mikel Merino starting the season quite poor, he was taken by Thomas Partey. And of course, with Thomas Partey's recent, not just recent, the whole season, he's been a very good, you can argue he's been one of our best midfielders. If not one of, probably the second best midfielder of Arsenal this season. Doesn't get injured. I don't know what's happened. He seems not to be injured anymore. And he scored some big goals for Arsenal. And with his, upturning form, Thomas Partey has taken over in that midfield position. But of course, now we have to adapt without Thomas Partey, and that is with Declan Rice in the number 6 position. Now, 2 things about this. Firstly, with Declan Rice, he's been playing a number 8 this whole season. I don't remember how many games he's played as a number 6. And with number 8, he has been able to offer something that we don't have. And the number 1 thing about what Declan Rice can offer, which, for example, a Mikel Merino can offer, is the fact that he's able to drive forward with the ball. You see Declan Rice, every time he has the ball, he's able to make those deep runs and run with the ball. And it opens up space because sometimes we're too, passing side to side. And when you get that one player who can just dribble, just run forward, something so simple, he cuts out 3-4 players out of the way because they're all going out wide thinking you're about to pass to someone. Suddenly now you're running forward and now they have to close the gap. So that's one thing we are of course going to miss with Declan Rice. But one thing we do get is a destroyer in midfield. Declan Rice can break up attacks, and we've seen him multiple times this season. Arguably one of the best number 6. He himself has said he prefers to play as a number 6. Now, he said that a few months ago. I think he was doing the World Cup or something. The World Cup qualifies now, of course. Maybe his opinion might change after his most recent game. So that's the thing I'm more interested to see, is that midfield 3. We have to start getting them to gelled up. Martin Odegaard, Mikel Merino, Declan Rice, because they will be playing one of the biggest games against PSG. So we need that midfield up and ready because we are going up against a very hard team. In terms of the rest of the team, I'm happy to see some rotations. I think there's some few players that we need to rest. We will get into them. But apart from that, we just have to win and keep the players sharp. So for me, the lineup goes as David Villa in goal. I'm playing Ben White, because I think Benoit has just come back from injuries. I think he can play again. Timber, we cannot risk Timber right now. He is going to have to play against PSG. So, and he's been coming down with a lot of knocks and stuff. Comes off the pitch sometimes without the game finishing. So we have to protect him. So for me, Timber, left back Zinchenko, centre backs, I mean, it picks itself. He has to go with Kivio and Saliba. Let's just hope they both stay fit. Midfield, already said it, Declan Rice, Mikel Merino, Martin Odegaard. Up front, I'm going with Ethan. We cannot get Saka injured. Saka played against Ipswich. He almost got injured. He almost got that Ipswich defender who, I forgot what his name was. Such a stupid challenge. Okay, what a stupid challenge. Could have got Saka injured at once more. So we have to protect Saka. There's nothing much to play for in the Premier League. And regardless, without Saka, we should still be winning this game. So for me, I'm going with Ethan, Trossard, Martinelli. The reason why I want to go with Trossard forward, we saw in the last game, he got a few goals. And the brilliant thing about Trossard, he can actually drop in deep, play as a midfielder. He's more of a, similar to a Jesus type of player, where he has an all-around ability. What with Trossard, when he does drop in deep, he can allow Mikel Merino to play as a striker. And we did see that rotation a few times against Ipswich, and it will make it very hard for Crystal Palace on like who would they mark. Would they mark Merino or would they mark Trossard? Because both of them can play as striker, so that's one benefit. But apart from that, look, Crystal Palace, I don't even know where they are in the league table. They haven't had the best of season, and to be honest, they do have a few good players. I mean, our last 5 games against Crystal Palace, we've had what? Oh my God, we've won all 5. Like, we seem to have a very, very good record against Crystal Palace. It's just unfortunate we don't have Jesus with us, because that is one man that loves playing against Crystal Palace. We already beat them again in the reverse fixture. I think we beat them 5-1. Declan Rice, what a brilliant goal in that game. They sit 12th right now. 12th right now. Yeah, now, to be honest, Crystal Palace, the way they ended last season, I really thought they were going to do a lot more. I remember they went last season. I think they've won 4 or 5 games in a row. But unfortunately, of course, they couldn't carry that on to this season. But of course, it's not surprising. Actually, they did lose a key players like Elise, who's a top player. But look, it's not going to be any easy game. Crystal Palace still have some top players that can hurt us. Of course, that's the main man up front, Mateta. We know what he did to us in the Carabao Cup, where he gave Kivio a run for his money, that first goal as well. So that's the most important thing. Just go to the game uninjured, get the players feeling sharp, build up some confidence, and we go from there. Yeah, but that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. And apart from that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.